All right. Now, an advanced organizer for proving triangles are congruent. Now, there's 4 different types that we're going to really focus on. There's actually a 5th type for a right triangle. But for any triangle, this is for any triangle. The first one is called side, side, side. Which we will call SSS. Now, side, side, side says that if you have 2 triangles where you have one side congruent to another side, second side congruent to a second side, a third side congruent to a third side, the 2 triangles are congruent. So basically what we're doing right now is we're just creating a graphic organizer that will show us what these sides or what these different types of tests are going to look like. Now, like I said, there's 4 of them. So first off, any questions on side, side, side? We're going to get into each one individually. But right now I'm giving you all 4 of them at once. So you have them all in one area. Alright, the next one is side angle side. Which is abbreviated SAS, side angle side. If you have 2 triangles, you have a side, you have an angle and a second side, and a side and an angle and a second side. I call this one the corner test. If you're able to prove a corner, of a triangle, you could get side angle side out of this. Now there's a 4th one. 3rd one. My dogs woke me up at 3 in the morning, so I'm not firing on all thrusters right now. Side angle side, or excuse me, angle side angle. See? Can't even say this stuff right even though I'm writing it. This is ASA. So that would be an angle, a side, and an angle. An angle, a side, and an angle. That's all you need to prove that these 2 triangles are congruent. The 2 triangles are congruent in this case. Now the 4th major one that applies to any triangle is angle, angle, side. And it's AAS. So you have 2 triangles. you get two angles that are congruent to each other. And a third, I'm going to show you where the side is. Here's the thing. A third non-included side. So that means you cannot use this side. This side right here, you can't use that side. You can't use this side. So no. But you can either use this side or this side. They are part of the angle, but the included side, when we talk about the included side of an angle between two angles, it would be this side right here. Because it's right in between the two angles. So we call that an included side. Just like over here, this would be an included side. So this right here is an included side. Kind of like this guy right here is an included angle. Now, the abbreviations actually go in the order in which everything should be working. Like angle, side, angle. You have an angle, you have a side in between them, and then you have an angle. Here you have side, angle, side, side, angle, side. Here's side, side, side. Well, that's all three sides. Over here, it's angle, angle, and then one of these sides. But it has to be the corresponding side. So it has to be a corresponding side. Not the best graphic organizer I've ever ever drawn. See? Day after Halloween, horrible stuff. Just, it should be a day off. But, not the best one I've ever drawn, but that's okay. That's alright. Now, for right triangle. For right triangles, I'm actually going to draw a couple right triangles for you. And you're saying, yay, whippy-doo. Alright, so, say you get this right triangle. You got that right triangle. There's something called hypotenuse leg. If you can show, and this is HL, if you can show that the hypotenuse is congruent to an hypotenuse, and then one leg, so you need the hypotenuse and one corresponding leg. So you can either have this guy or this guy. Now, if you know two sides of a right triangle, is there a theorem out there that we can figure out the third side? There is, isn't there? We could say this works. Starts with P. This works because of the Pythagorean theorem. Because if I know, remember, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So if I know two sides, I can figure out the third side. And if the two sides are the same here, we're going to get the same side for there. So hypotenuse leg is side, side, side with the Pythagorean theorem. The nice thing is, when we get to this one, you'll probably forget that it has anything to do with the Pythagorean theorem. And I'll show you exactly what it means with the Pythagorean theorem when we get to this one. The nice thing is, once we prove it, we don't have to actually do the Pythagorean theorem all the time. All we have to do is say, all right, there's a hypotenuse and there's a leg. Good to go. We know these triangles are congruent to each other. And then all sorts of fun stuff happens because of that. All right, any questions about these 5 different tests? We have side, 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 angle, side, angle, angle, side, and hypotenuse leg. And people are looking at this and seeing all sorts of different letters, and I'll just say this. We don't write any swear words on our paper because they don't work. Angle, side, side does not work. Oh, angle, side, side. Angle, side, side does not work. I'm not going to write the abbreviation at all for that one, but angle, side, side does not work at all.